Hi and welcome to TA100 Lite, our entry-level time clock software. So this is your control panel for TA100 Lite. First things first, let's set up the company. You simply set up your company name. You can set up your payrolls such as your overtime and your pay period. You can set up your different start and stop times for your shifts, and even set up any clocks you plan on using with the software. Once that's done, you close out of here, and we'll simply come into maintenance, add in any departments, any pay categories you plan on using, and add any holidays. With the system utilities, you can always do any system backups you need to do, optimize your tables for speed, or even change any employee numbers if needed. We also have security with the software. This actually allows you to come in and set up your different security levels and your different permissions for your different users. So let's dive in and take a look at our employee information. Once your employee information is captured from the time clocks and pulled into the software, you'll be able to view it here with their time card. You'll see their start and stop times, their department numbers if you need them, and all your employees are located right over to the left here. Just by clicking on their employee name, we'll take you right to their time card. As you can see, there's a few little letters next to their name. And as you can see, the key here tells you what those letters are. A red A would be an absence, a purple M is for a missing punch, and a green I means that they're actually currently clocked in and working for you. Let's go ahead and fix this punch on Tuesday here. All I have to do is double click on the punch, and it's actually going to pull in their time for you. You can have this in an AM, PM format if you prefer, as it defaults to military time. I can always come in here and just click up or down on my arrows. I can also right click and it'll actually open up a field for us, and I can then select the appropriate time if needed. Once I do so, we'll add up their time for that day. In this example, I have 1 hour automatically deducted for lunch, and I can see their weekly totals down here at the bottom. I can always add a start or add a stop down here too. The software has the capabilities of benefit entitlement, so if we want to, we can go in here and put in a vacation day. And by adding a transaction, we can come in and select miscellaneous and see the pay categories that we entered in earlier. By selecting vacation and by specifying how many hours they're taking off, and also the date that they're requesting off. Simply say OK, and the time is now posted right to their time card. By going out to their schedule, we can see they have vacation days posted out there. To have an employee work or unwork, we just simply check the box or uncheck it if you don't want them to work. We can also come in here and actually put in predefined shifts if we want to. We can also use the slide rulers to then specify the start and stop times if we want to do a shift override. And make sure that our labor allocation is correct also. Anytime an employee clocks in or clocks out, you can notice that there is a badge number associated with it. This lets you know that the employee is the one that created the transaction. As you can see up here, there is no badge number associated with it, and this actually allows you to know that there is a supervisor that edited the transaction. Our status allows us to know what policy they belong to. Policies affect things such as overtime. You can also have them as active or inactive, and even change what policy they're going to. The benefit entitlement allows you to input the balances, and as the time is used, it's deducted from their balance, showing you what they have left over. The message section allows you to see the first initial last name, so when they clock in and clock out, they'll see this message. You can track wages in here if you wish, such as your hourly or salary. If you're using a badge clock, you can assign a badge number to that employee and mark it as valid or invalid if needed, in case they lose their badge. If you're using a biometric clock, you can assign employees to specific clocks. With the Employees Detail tab, the only thing we do require is a first name, last name, employee number, and their hire date. Everything else in here is just extra for you. We do give you 6 user-definable fields, including a home department for the employee. We also have an option for PC clock, which allows your employees to clock in and out on the PC. Again, that was the employee information. And how we populate the employee information is by pulling the time clocks. By pulling the clocks, you're taking the data off the clock and actually putting it into the system for you. This also allows you to check the status board, which will let you know who's out, who's working for you. If anybody clocks in and out for lunch, you'll also be able to see that information and the last transaction took place. If you have more than one clock, you'll also see what clock they actually clocked in and out at. The system also has a report feature. Here you can see a bunch of different reports such as time cards, different summary reports, weekly hours, attendance reports, approaching overtime, who's not in, who's in, absences and missing punches, and even listings reports such as address listings or badge listings. So let's go ahead and run a time card report. I can select employees if I needed to. Say OK. Sort them by status, name or number, group them by department, or even output it right to the printer, to a file such as PDF or Excel, or have it even emailed right to the employee or supervisor. The specific report is a one per page. You can see the employee's name, their start and stop times, the department numbers, along with their individual hours for each day, and their totals for that week, or that pay period. You can also have these printed out and have them signed off for approval. Once you verify the time via the reports, you can now simply run your payroll. By pulling the time clocks, you make sure they have the most up-to-date time. You can also fix any missing punches and absences, do a final approval for your pay period, and simply create your payroll export file to be imported into your payroll software. This concludes our TA100 Lite demonstration. Have a wonderful day.